Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Is It Worth It, where we play a game for about 30 minutes or so and decide if it's something you should add to your backlog or skip entirely. I'm Jason, the Overwhelmed Gamer, and today we are taking a look at Doom Troopers for the Sega Genesis. Let's go. So, Doom Troopers was released back in 1995, developed by Adrenaline Entertainment and published by Playmates Interactive. It's based on the Mutant Chronicles franchise, which was originally a tabletop RPG universe that eventually expanded into comics, novels, and even a movie. The game itself is your typical side-scrolling run-and-gun shooter, and you play as either Mitch Hunter or Max Steiner, elite soldiers battling against mutant forces that threaten humanity. It sounds just like your typical 90s classic, right? But let's check and see if the gameplay holds up. Right off the bat, Doom Troopers sets the tone with its grim post-apocalyptic visuals and heavy metal soundtrack, which is pretty good. You've got your guns, you've got enemies everywhere, you've got loads of blood and explosions. And I've got to say, the graphics are actually pretty impressive for the Genesis, especially for a late-gen title. The sprites are huge, the environments have this gritty, kind of war-torn look that really fits the vibe perfectly. And the gore, man, this game doesn't hold back. Enemies explode into chunks when you shoot them, which was kind of a big selling point in the mid-90s. It almost feels like a Genesis version of Contra, but with more grit and kind of less polish. The controls are decent, but far from perfect. Your character feels a little heavy and sluggish compared to other run and gun shooters. Taking a deeper dive into gameplay, the level design is fairly straightforward. You run, shoot, sometimes jump over obstacles. You also have to be careful to conserve ammo, and you can do this combination of shooting or bashing things with your gun, which is kind of a cool concept, but I don't know how much I actually enjoyed it during my time playing the game. Each character has their own unique weapons. Mitch wields like a machine gun, while Max goes for like a flamethrower. Both feel powerful, but can really be kind of repetitive. The platforming sections, they're not the best. The jumps are kind of floaty, and I found myself missing platforms more often than I'd like. There are also some blind jumps, which I find super frustrating. The enemy variety is decent, though with mutants and robots coming at you from all directions, the challenge ramps up fairly quickly, so expect to die quite a few times, but the game can feel a bit cheap in terms of difficulty. In the 30 minutes I played, I was really hoping to at least get to a boss fight, but I wasn't able to. And to me, if I'm not able to get to a boss fight within the first 30 minutes, especially of an old retro game, it really kind of sets me back. As much as Doom Troopers does have some really cool moments, there are a few things that, for me, really hold it back. First, the difficulty. The game can be brutally hard, and not always in a fun way. You don't get much invincibility after getting hit, so you can lose a life really quick if you're swarmed by enemies. And health packs, they're few and far between. Another downside is the gameplay doesn't really evolve as much as I'd hope. You basically do the same thing, running, shooting, jumping. There's not much of a variety in terms of weapons or tactics. After about 30 minutes of playing it, it started to feel too repetitive. I also did notice some slowdown when too many enemies are on screen, which I get it, that happened back in the day, but it can really mess with the flow of combat in this game. For a game that's all about like super intense action, it really bogged things down. The controls, while decent, can be a little unresponsive during these chaotic moments, which also adds to the frustration. So after about 30 minutes of Doom Troopers, what's the verdict? Is this worth playing? On the plus side, Doom Troopers nails the dark post-apocalyptic atmosphere and delivers some serious action with a heavy dose of 90s gore. I think old school shooter fans will find some satisfaction here. But on the downside, the difficulty can feel kind of unfair and cheap at times. The gameplay starts to feel repetitive pretty quick, If you're looking for something deep or innovative, this might not be the game for you. The slowdown and unresponsive controls during hectic moments also super distract from the experience. Overall, if you're a fan of Mutant Chronicles universe or you love gritty, gory shooters, Doom Troopers might be worth checking out. Just be prepared to be really frustrated along the way. For casual players, those looking for something more polished, you might want to pass on this one. Personally, for me, this one is a no-go. I probably will not revisit Doom Troopers. I just did not have any fun with it when it came down to it. In 30 minutes, if I don't have a sense of any kind of excitement or wow, this is neat or new or whatever, I'm just not going to get into it. So Doom Troopers for me, it's getting a pass. So there you have Doom Troopers for the Sega Genesis. Let me know in the comments if you've played Doom Troopers and what you thought of this one. And as always, if you like what we're doing here, please hit that subscribe, like, comment, you know, all the YouTube stuff that shows up here or whatever. That's it. We're done. Till next time, see ya in the next video. Late.